So I guess this is another coffee with Anne and another just kind of like off the cuff. That's what this is. Um, I actually just felt like talking. There's a lot that's going on. And, you know, that's kind of what I wanted to use this channel for too. I am an autistic that's raising three autistic kids. And there's a lot going on in our world right now. And I can sit here every day and I can kind of tell you what we do or how I make it. But there's days where it's just rough. There's just nothing easy about it. And I could cry. You know, though, the thing that gets me through, and I'm not trying to preach to anybody, that's not what this is about, but is if it was not for God, we would not be making it. And every single time that something comes up, we have an answer. It just happens. And God takes care of us. You know, I don't ask for a lot. I just ask for our needs to be met. And that is what always happens. And so I am so blessed. There are so many curves that get thrown our way and so many blips. And that's what I call them. I call them a blip because there is nothing that is so big that we can't overcome it. Just in the last few weeks, and every day is like, it's a journey. It really is a journey. And every single day when you have three kids with autism and an adult with autism all in the same house, no day is the same. Unfortunately, and you would think, since we all have to have everything exactly the same every day, that it would be. But that's not the way it is. You know, when I got these three kids, they were, there was no doubt in my mind that I was going to say yes when I got the call, that your grandkids were in need and you need to take them. And there was just no doubt in my mind that I was going to say yes. I didn't even have a bed for them. I didn't know what I was going to do. I didn't have the clothes or any of the needs, basic needs that we needed at that time. So we just did without until social services did give us some beds, and we just kept making it happen. And we just went out and we got their clothes and we just did everything that we had to. And it started with not knowing anything was wrong with any of them, except there were hints. We had ideas that things were wrong. And my little Ricki, he's 7 now, but when I first got him, I still think he was 3. And he only knew 4 words. He could only speak 4 words. And his mentality was maybe a 1-year-old. I'm not sure. We knew that he had issues, but we didn't know what at that time. And then there was little Sarah, who was 18 months at the time. And now she's 6. And she was interesting. Even at that time, I knew that there was something wrong, but again, we didn't know what. And then Levi was only 2 months old, and he was glazed over and unresponsive, failure to thrive, and there were other things that were wrong with him that I'm keeping private. But we knew that we had our obstacles ahead of us. And then again, here I am with working a full-time job. And in the middle of my job, I was at work when I got the phone call that I was to take the kids. So I rushed out. We got the kids. The police brought them in because the police had taken them from where they were. And we had to take him to a doctor right across the street immediately with social services. And they said that, you know, overall, except for them not having their immunizations and a lot of the things in place that they were supposed to have, we got all that taken care of, and the story began. The doctor visits started, and appointment after appointment, and it has been a whirlwind since we got them. There is not a week where we don't have doctor's appointments or appointments with teachers or intervention specialists or, you know, IEP meetings, ETR meetings. We have had doctors that have led to doctors that have led to doctors, neuropsychologists that led us to developmental psychiatry, genetics, heart doctors, urologists. I mean, these kids have had every test under the sun, especially Ricki, because on top of autism, and with autism, you know, he has DiGeorge syndrome, and with that comes autism a lot of times. And so he's got a lot on his plate for being 7 and not having the right beginning. And then Sarah has autism and speech and language delay with pragmatic speech, like 0 pragmatic. She's so literal, and she doesn't know how to understand the world around her. So we can't even watch Tom and Jerry, the movie that we tried to watch the other day, because she's just, well, that's not funny. Why are you laughing? That mouse is being mean. So, you know, she really does not know social cues. She doesn't know how to be a friend. And so, you know, we've had counselors in our house. Now we're in an autism school with her to try to help her in a small classroom and try to teach her how to, you know, make it in the world at 6 years old. And Levi has also, he was diagnosed with autism, and he's delayed as well with speech and language. And then there's me, who has autism, and I had speech and language delay, and you know, I'm cognitively delayed. I have other issues, but we make it. And that's why I always come back to my videos the way I do, and that no matter what, you can do it. And why I get upset at people that say that people with autism don't feel or feel empathetic, because it's actually what I always say, and what other people on the spectrum say. It is the opposite of that. We feel deeply. We empathize deeply. Probably too much so, because we take in too much information. We aren't able to sort, and so it's hard for us to sort through everything, but we do feel, and we do want relationships.
Hi.
So while I'm doing this, a little boy named Ricki wanted to give me a present that he just made for me. He's our little artist in the family, aren't you, Ricki?
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's my buddy. He's 7. He's my pride and joy, aren't you?
Yeah, and I'm in April 30th.
What's that day?
April.
Yeah, but what happens on April 30th?
We're the guys are gonna build a new pool.
No, honey, it's your birthday.
Oh.
It's your birthday on April 30th. How old are you gonna be?
8.
Yeah, you're gonna be 8. What
Yeah.
grade are you in?
2nd grade.
No, you're not.
Oh.
You're in
first grade.
Yeah. So, yeah. When we got this little one right here, he only knew a few words, huh? But now you know a lot of words.
Yeah, I could read in books like really good.
Yeah, you're a really good reader, aren't you?
Yeah.
Yeah, we had Leprechaun Day yesterday, so he's got his little necklace on still because we had a leprechaun visit our house.
Yeah, and can I go show them something?
Just tell him. What do you want? I mean,
there was a video and the leprechaun carried my camera upstairs and he was putting some Skittles that was leading a trail downstairs, and I snuck downstairs and put my camera downstairs and then set it up, and then the elf laughed when he was
you mean
shaking.
the leprechaun?
Yeah, the leprechaun.
Yeah.
I'm so excited I'm in your video.
Yes, you are in my video. Tell them bye.
Bye.
Well, that was a surprise that my Ricki got to visit with us. When you get that phone call and you have to, you just drop everything and you just do it. And it doesn't matter if you get the help or not. And I'm going to continue. I had to actually leave my job. I'm on leave from my job because Ricki is immunodeficient. And, the pandemic changed everybody's lives. We're not the same that we were a year ago. And when they told me, that when schools were going back and things like that, and this started a year ago. And so we, of course, started with all of the kids home. And they've gradually, the other 2 have gone back. Sarah is going to a special school for kids with autism. And Levi is in a developmental preschool. And because he's got special needs. And then Ricki. And he has stayed home because we've been so careful with him. I don't want him to get anything. And the 2 times that we've ventured out just to do something fun a little bit, he was the one that got sick. And it took him a long time to get rid of it. And we actually thought he had COVID. So, we've been really, really extra careful with him being immunodeficient. But our whole lives have changed. And I never thought in a million years that I would leave my job. I loved my job. And we've had to make a lot of changes for these kids. One of the other things is that not only do you not get the helps that that a lot of people get because they're taking in 3 kids, but the minute that I looked at them and they were in my house for good, I knew that nothing could stand in the way of me doing what I needed to help them and to meet every single need, and me having a job, nothing mattered anymore. the things that were important, because my older two kids are grown. And my one daughter, she's in Pennsylvania and she has her own family. And I just, I did that. And so, I had just come out of having older, my kids were older. And so then I was doing me again. And so then when you realize that all of a sudden you've got three littles, including a 2-month-old, nothing is about you again. And that's okay. But work, when you've got a kid that's immunodeficient and he has DiGeorge syndrome, and you've got 3 kids with autism, and you've got a kid here for school, a kid there for school, a kid at home for school, you've got all these things going on, whatever it's been, whatever the journey, whatever the bump in the road, nothing matters but my kids. Nothing. And we'll make it. We'll do it. Since, the school, they always ask me too, which that's their job. That's their job. What do you want as a parent? What do you want, Ricki or Sarah or Levi? What do you want for their goals? Because they have so many, and we have to like summarize it in a couple sentences. And so I'm just like, well, I just want them to be their best. I just want them to be able to find a friend. I just want them to be able to learn how to communicate in this world and be able to get along and find their strengths and build on those. And, Ricki, he can't do math at all. We've been working on him for 2 years, trying for him to even understand 0 + 5, and he still doesn't get it. We're still trying to get him to understand greater and lesser, and just some basic reading stuff. He can read. He's doing actually pretty well with that. But he doesn't understand so much, because even though he's going into 2nd grade next year, he's at a kindergarten level with most things. And, so really, when the goals come up, it's just, I just want them to be, I want him to be his best. And the same thing with Levi. To watch him now get out of the car and run into the school and say, there's my friends, it just melts my heart. Sarah, she's actually leaving her new school and she's happy. She's happy. That is the first time since, and she's in kindergarten, but she was in preschool for 1.5 years, and then she's been in, and it has been tremendously hard for her to go to school because of her special needs are so great. And she's coming out of there practically skipping every day, and she's like, I'm happy, Mama. I'm happy. And that just, so we're just going to keep doing, and we're going to keep moving forward. Like I tell everybody all the time, just keep being you and keep being you and keep moving forward. I say that because that's what we have to do every single day. And we wake up and we do it again. We go to sleep and then we wake up and then we do it again. And there's nothing that stands in our way from being able to move forward. And that's what we're going to keep doing. So, as my kids always say, again, ready? Do it.
1, 2, 3, smash that like button.
And thank you for being a part of this channel. it means a lot to me and my kids. And they're huge YouTube people, and they are just ecstatic that when they look on YouTube, they see their mama. So it's pretty cool. So anyway, thank you. Hit that like button. Please hit the bell so you can get the notifications that I put up another video. So subscribe, all that good stuff. Hit the like button, like they say. Share, let people know about it, and just talk frankly, because that's, having autism is hard. Having 4 people with autism under the same roof is a little bit of a challenge, and it's a little difficult, but we are so blessed and we make it work. And sometimes, I got the tools, sometimes I don't. Sometimes we're just trying to figure it out like you. And maybe you can take something from these videos. I really appreciate it. Keep being you and keep moving forward. Thanks.